What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our match reaction after Liverpool just about got over the line to beat Wolves by 2-1. It was an unacceptable second half performance, let's be honest about that, but we got the job done. So, over the course of the next 30 minutes or so, we're going to try figure out what went wrong in that second half, what we do moving forward at the game against Villa, and of course we're going to ask you guys to vote for your man of the match, and if you'd like to submit your player ratings as well, you can do that with the link pinned to the top of the chat. So I guess I want to clear up something there from the end of the watch along. I think people were a little bit confused. I wasn't talking about the people who have every right to criticise the second half performance. I'm talking about the usual suspects who were in the chat, calling their own players bottlers, telling people to get out of their club, and saying we're throwing away a league title when we're winning a game of football. Yes, it wasn't pretty in that second half, and I'm not trying to defend that performance because it absolutely was not good enough. But like I said, let's not make opposition fans' job easier for them. Let's just stick together. It wasn't pretty. You've every right to be frustrated by that performance, but we got the job done. And let's pick the bones out of it now together and see what we think from it. So we're going to go through and ask you to vote for your man of the match and a few other bits and pieces. Of course, we're brought to you with thanks to our incredible sponsors, Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free shipping store-wide at manscaped.com with a code Anfield20. Right, so much to go through there from that game, ladies and gentlemen. First half performance, we looked like we were in cruise control, playing some great football. And you would say the turning point in the game for me probably came in and around the penalty incident for Diogo Jota. So Liverpool start to counter-attack, work the ball forward. Jota gets into the penalty area, cuts back onto his right foot, and then goes to ground. It was not a penalty. It was absolutely the right call to overturn it. But that seemed to me to be a bit of a turning point in the game, because Wolves grew belief from that point, because it could have easily gone 3-0 and completely out. They grew in belief. Cunha found a very good finish into the bottom corner past Alisson to make it 2-1. And from that point on, it was just nowhere near acceptable from Liverpool Football Club. We were far too passive. We were giving away possession too much. We weren't winning enough second balls. And Arne Slot is going to be a little bit concerned about what he's seen there. And understandably so. Look at the possession in the game. It finished 50-50. So it was a close game of football. In the second half, I don't believe Liverpool had a shot. Certainly not a shot on target that I'm aware of. And that is just not good enough. You know, we were in cruise control. We got to figure out how we can make sure that doesn't happen again. Right. There we go. Owen, thank you, man, for your super chat. Owen said, hangover from the Everton game. It was defo nervy. It was really nervy. Like, I don't really have too many complaints about the first half. But that second half was unrecognisable. Obviously, Salah had a goal that was ruled out, and again, correctly ruled out. I've no qualms with that. I think the referee, more often than not today, got things right in the game. I thought he refereed the game well. And look, for all the critical stuff that we're going to speak about from Liverpool here, and of course, we're Liverpool fans, so we're going to pick the bones out of it. Let's credit Wolves as well for bravery in that second half. Like, they're a team down the bottom of the Premier League fighting for their lives. And they show bottle. So if I'm their manager, I'm looking at that and thinking there's something there to work with, because they didn't give up. They kept plugging away right till the end. We're creating opportunities. And, you know, if you're their manager, you'll take something positive from that. So in the game, total shots. Wolves, look at this. You will not see this very often at Anfield. Wolves with more shots and more shots on target in that game than Liverpool. We had 10 shots, 3 on target, to Wolves 16 shots, 4 on target. Dangerous attacks, almost identical. 50 for Liverpool, 48 for Wolves. Corners, 4 for Liverpool, 3 for Wolves. Total passes, we were outpassed. I can't remember a time this season that we've been outpassed. We were today at home. Wolves with 448 passes, Liverpool 435. Pass accuracy percentage, 83 for Liverpool, 84 for Wolves. It was a close game, and we just about got over the line. VI Joker said energy levels got to be better for the Villa game. Yeah, no argument. I agree with you. The man of the match poll is up. The options that Connor's put up for you guys to vote on: Dominic Szoboszlai, Mohamed Salah, Luis Diaz, or Alisson Becker. And of course, Alisson made a huge one-on-one save in that second half as well, where he managed to pick himself up but cutting the leg for his troubles. So look, let's go into the chat now and see how you guys are feeling. Wolves are pretty shit, to be honest, said Tim Reynolds. Well, I thought they played well in the second half today there, Tim, and deserve some credit for it. Is Jones still suspended for Villa? No, 1 game suspension. He'll be back midweek for Villa. But look, to me, if I'm to talk about the areas I was most concerned with there today, probably the fullback positions. I thought that we looked better at right back when Bradley came on. I thought he defended one-on-one situations very well. Andy Robertson had another forgettable game, to be honest with you. I don't think Robertson... someone saying Robertson got man of the match. I thought he was shit. Honestly, look, I'm open to be wrong on this. And it seems like I am. But I didn't think Robbo was that good today at all. Yeah. But, again, so many people are saying that Robbo was brilliant, the man of the match. So I'm happy to be wrong on this one. I didn't think he was great. In all honesty, I didn't. But look, hey, I guess maybe it is what you like. Another game where Liverpool survive because of a dodgy pen. Forgive my Man United soul. Dodgy? No. It was a nailed on penalty. Let's not be silly about it. If you're talking about the foul in the build-up, I gave you my honest take on that. I said I wouldn't have had any... I wouldn't have had any problems if it was stopped. The second penalty was not a penalty and was rightly overturned. But, yeah, other than that, man, you know, I think probably cancels out the Everton one midweek. Have to rotate more, said Nick. Mackett and Gravenberch look tired. This one from Rain said, Cunha is a baller. We need to cut our games better. We need to see out our games better. My apologies, mate. The eyesight wasn't great there. We need to see out our games better. Bumbadog said, I'm tired of hearing these are the types of wins that champions grind out. Well, yeah, but champions also get clean wins. We look unconvincing. Look, I'm not going to argue about looking unconvincing. Not at all. We didn't look convincing. I have no problem with anybody being critical of that second half because it was nowhere near good enough. And look, as I said, I'd probably be harsh on Andy Robertson because there's more than enough people that think he had a great game. So, colour me wrong on that one. No problem, put my hands up. But you know what? I do think Jarell Quansah did very well when he came on. Obviously, at half-time, Arne Slot had to take off Kanade because he was probably one foul away from a red. And I thought Jarell Quansah did well in that second half when he came on. We were just dropping deeper and deeper, that one. It felt like we got nervous there. That was one of the first times I've seen Liverpool play in that second half where we didn't go for the throat and we were not just passive, but way too passive. Not just sitting out, like we were just playing it side to side. It didn't even feel like we were trying to penetrate for that third in the last 20 minutes. It just felt like keep the ball, move the ball, tire them out and hope you can run down the clock. And that's nervy. So that's what got me most concerned in the second half was how passive we looked. I don't even feel like we were getting stuck in and winning many second balls. At the end of the game there, some very good challenges. I thought with Turuendo, incredibly good to win that free kick on the edge of the penalty area right at the death. I thought Conor Bradley made some great one-on-one defending down on the right-hand side. But again, Alisson needs to be more commanding in some situations. There's been too many times in the last few months where I've seen Alisson punch what are very easily catchable balls in. And one of those today almost caused Wolves to get the second ball and have a good chance. In fact, it led to the free kick on the edge of the box. We need to cut out that nonsense. Come out, catch the ball. He's big enough, he's good enough, he's strong enough. He should be catching them and not punching them. Arsenal fans saying they'll catch Liverpool, but in all honesty, this team is giving me stress. That tosser Jota almost cost us the game. So, Arsenal fans can think what they want. Their 2-0 win was as unconvincing as our win today. Let's be honest about that as well. So, they're running out of games. They can keep talking about this till they're blue in the face, but ultimately it's another weekend gone by and they haven't come anywhere near it. And they aren't catching us. 7 points with 13 games to go. Let's see what happens. So yeah, by the way, in our player ratings, just to back it up, as of right now, Connor's informed me that Robertson is 10th out of 11 in our player ratings. So people obviously feeling that Andy Robertson didn't have a good game in the scores. Can't blame me on that one. Al Hazza, thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Still Liverpool top of the league, said Matt Kelly. Absolutely. Top of the league and one more game ticked along, as I keep saying. Whenever Arsenal think they're going to make up these points, they're running out of games. They need to be aware of that, surely. Aaron said, nervy win, but a win, 2-0 and fell asleep. That's a bit onslaught. Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, what do you think caused that second half fall off? Do you think it was fatigue? Arrogance? I just, that's the first time this season I've really felt that we've been nervy. And at home, it is concerning, you know. We're in a great position where we want to be, but that's not going to get rid of any nerves, is it? That second half performance, like I don't know why it happened. Fatigue, said Declan. We looked leggy, said Elliot. Tempo and intensity, said Mo Salah 11. Midfield looked absolutely shattered, not enough rotation, said JCF 102. Think we were arrogant going into half time, said Real Refs. Didinho said no pressing, even Darwin walking pace throughout. I did notice that, Didinho, mate, about Darwin on a couple of occasions when he was on there. It would have been a little bit more I wanted from him closing down from the front on occasion. I agree. I felt there was too much jogging around there from Darwin when he came on. Do we think the substitution to bring on Endo worked? Because it didn't seem to stem the flow, but then again, Watura was there making big challenges at the end and winning us that free kick as well, putting his body in the way. So it's difficult to pick the bones out of it without rewatching that back, but God, I feel nervy. And I haven't felt as nervy as that this season many times at all. What we have on the bench is poor quality, said Kevin. Well, let's have a reminder then of who was on the bench today, man. Let's have a look back over it. So the options there today were Endo, Darwin, Chiesa, Elliott, Costas, McConnell, Kelleher, Kwanzaa and Bradley. So Bradley came on and made a difference. Kwanzaa absolutely came on and made a difference. But you know what? I'm going to be honest, right? It feels like Chiesa on that bench now was just a body more than anything else. Because Arna didn't want to bring him on there and take Mo off, which you could have made a very valid argument for, considering Mo was looking leggy. And Chiesa could have given us fresh pace to try and get in behind, or even hold it up in that right channel. So once again, we're looking at a bench where you can look at it and think that there's 2 or 3 players there that Arna just doesn't trust. Elliott, clearly not getting a look in. Chiesa, not getting a look in. You know, we don't have to invent these things. It's clear as day. He's not bringing them on in any of the games. So we're almost going in with a weakened bench. Fobby Rowler said, we would have to lose 4 of our last 13 games to blow this title. That's not going to happen. Even a stuttering Liverpool team would beat most. I agree, man. I agree. You know, it makes me more nervous coming into the game on Wednesday. I'm not going to lie about that. I mean, Villa didn't have the greatest of results and performances against Ipswich. So, you know, they're not exactly tearing trees up either. But we're going to have to be much improved going into that game. And look, I know somebody said at the very start of this stream that I'm tired of hearing these are the types of wins that champions grind out. But it is true. You know, it's not pretty. And I get where you're coming from, Bumba Dog. But these are the type of games that champions grind out. And we did. And I know it wasn't pretty. And you've every right not to be happy about the second half performance. But isn't it so much better to talk about this having got the 3 points? Because if we drew that game today, you can definitely feel then that it's been what? Not enough in our last one win, maybe in 5. You would have had the loss to PSV, the draw with Everton, the loss in the FA Cup to Plymouth. And if you back that up with another draw home to Wolves, opposition fans would have every right to look at that and go, they're having a wobble. And maybe now they can look at it and think, okay, they're having a wobble, but at least we had a wobble where we won. And we took maximum points. And it's another weekend that Arsenal haven't closed the gap. Anyone know Arsenal's next game in the Prem? It's Chelsea or United, I think. Somebody can correct me on that, but I think it's Chelsea or United, I think. I'm sick of Sky trying to get a closer title race. Yeah, I get that. I'm frustrated with the whole Sky coverage of this Premier League title race, to be honest. It's like they so desperately want Arsenal involved in it. I get it. They got to get views. They want the title race to go down to the wire, but I don't, as a Liverpool fan. Stargirl said, love Salah, but I think he looked tired towards the end. Villa game coming soon. I think he should have some time to rest, him and Chiesa on. So yeah, look, we've only got one or two league games in March and 2 Champions League games. That's it in March because there's an international break. So I don't know Egypt's fixtures in that, but I hope Mo doesn't have too much workload on. TOTT2KZ1 said all aboard. HMS pissed the league. WFM. By the way, do keep hitting the subscribe button for me, folks. As you can see, we're 651 subscribers away from 300,000. Donny said the Anfield crowd needs to sort itself out. We're going for the title. So I've no idea, mate, what the crowd were like today because I watched the games on silent. So I'm led by the chat. It didn't look like they were up on their feet much anyway, but yeah, we got the job done though. You know, maybe you'd expect Jones to come into that midfield now, perhaps. Although, who do you leave out? Is there anything to be said to go Jones, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch against Villa? Because I feel like something needs to give in the middle of the park, and you can't really be taking out Ryan as much as he's played football this season, as many games as he's played. I feel like, I don't know, I'd like to see maybe Jones, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, but leaving Maka out makes me nervy as well. Arsenal's next game's West Ham and then Forest. Sorry, mate. So it's West Ham, Forest away, and then they've got Chelsea and United after that, right? Stevie Boy said, I might be the only one, but I wouldn't be disappointed if Trent left. He can take Robbo with him. Well, I certainly agree that anyone who says that we had a better performance at right back when Conor Bradley came on, because we didn't get much from Trent today in the attacking sense either. So, yeah, look, he gave away a couple of sloppy bits of possession, and I agree, I preferred the one-on-one defending of Robbo. But Trent did make some decent first half challenges, but he just doesn't look right, and that's the best and most open I can be about it. Trent just doesn't look like he's at his best at the minute. Whether that's the contract or not, I can't tell you the answer to that, but I do know we're not seeing the best version of him at the minute. Pulse Champ said West Ham, Forest away, United and Chelsea. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Camel Deep, how are you, my friend? Said second half was way too negative. Felt like legs gone in midfield and poor press all around. Kwanzaa always looks better with Verge. Needs to be better. Yeah, can we take a minute to give Kwanzaa his flowers there, actually? Because I thought he was very good in the second half when he came on. Couple of good blocks in there as well. Some good challenges. And yeah, just kept it steady. Good. I'm sure that'll be a confidence building 45 as well there for Kwanzaa, because he did make some very good last ditch challenges. Scruffy Alice said, great win. Wolves went for it in the second half. Played good football. The usual low block, long ball. I thought Wolves played very well second half. And if I was a Wolves fan looking at that, yeah, you're disappointed you didn't get at them from the game. But you can see that the players are fighting and they want to stay up there. And that Cunha goal, well, it was a great finish with his left foot. Curled it into the corner and not much Ali could do about it. Only VVD Trent touched the This Is Anfield sign, said Hivesy. Right, some more of your comments. Let's get back into the chat. 1 second. Let me just make this bigger. Bradley is good coming from the bench, said Austin. Nunes mind off football. Yeah, Nunes, Jack, did not look at it when he came on at all. Not one bit. Even his touches, carrying the ball out of defence. We had a really good counter-attacking chance and he took a heavy touch and then ended up giving the ball away. Normally when Nunes comes on, the very least you see him doing is really pressing and closing out from the front. I didn't even see that much today. It was a lot more half-arse jogging. But again, to not have shots in that second half or to be outshot at home is a worrying sign. And not a little bit. 16 attempts from Wolves to our 10. Patrick said Nunes was awful. Everything bounces off him. Can't believe Robbo got man of the match on Sky. Nor can I, Brian, because I said at the end of the game I didn't think Robbo played well, and people were saying to me that he got man of the match on Sky, and then I thought, hang on, am I imagining this? And then Connor messaged me to say he's in our player rating so far, he's the 10th one. So clearly the people that watch the game from a Liverpool perspective voted aren't impressed at what they've seen. If I'm looking for man of the matches there, I'm certainly not looking in his direction. I was thinking Szoboszlai did well first half. I think Kwanzaa did great when he came on. I thought Diaz, by the way, had a very good game until he was taken off. I don't necessarily agree with that substitution. I don't know why he didn't take Mo off. I thought Mo for Chiesa would have been an easy change to make to give some fresh legs down that right side. Alejandro said Diaz is my man of the match. I thought he was really good, mate. Much, much better on that left side today than he was through the centre. Caused loads of problems. Won the penalty. Scored a goal. Yeah. Look, I can only assume Arne was resting him up, to make sure he's good for Wednesday. But I would have had Salah taken off to rest him up as well. Not because he was doing anything wrong in particular, just to give him a breather. Salah, unfortunate, of course, as well as his very good finish was offside. But wow, what a finish that would have been for his second goal. But he was correctly judged offside. Can we get a word on the referee today, actually, as well? I thought that was a good refereeing performance from Simon Hooper. Certainly one of the better refereeing performances I've seen this season. I thought he got the major calls pretty much right. Wasn't afraid to overturn his penalty decision either when he was called to the monitor. And I think it was the right decision to overturn it. I think Jota initiated the contact. I thought he got the yellow card situations right as well. I feel like that was just a decent, solid refereeing performance. Why no check for Salah's goal? There was a check. There's always a check. Now, granted, you didn't see the lines. I'll give you that. But there is always a check on every goal. And you don't need to look across the line, and he was offside. You could see it with your eyes. Like, he was half a yard, and I get what you mean. You would have liked to have seen the lines, but Canade is not a yellow. 100% was a yellow, and you have to remember the reason why he was given a yellow. It wasn't for that one challenge. 3 or 4. The referee very clearly indicated here, 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 and here. So it was a culmination of fouls from Ibu. Why 6 minutes of stoppage time? I guess substitutions. Alisson had a bit of treatment as well, don't forget. Or Alisson was down for a moment or two. Then I think there was a Wolves player down at one point as well, if I'm not mistaken. So add it all together, and again, I don't really think there's too much wrong with the 6 minutes. Do you think Jota wasted the chance with a dive? 100%, mate. 100%. I don't know why he went to ground. And it would have been one of my favourite goals of the season if he stays up and tucks it home. The layoff from Szoboszlai into Gravenberch was absolutely sublime. Ryan carries the ball into midfield then, slips a lovely ball into Jota. He already sells the defender. He's gone. I don't know why he doesn't stay on his feet and just slot it home. Taunt said Jota was lucky not to get a yellow for simulation, and I wouldn't have had any complaints if he did. I always try to be honest when I look at these things, and it wasn't a penalty, and I've absolutely no problem with that being overturned. It was the right decision. But, okay, we're being critical of Diogo for that, and we should be, but I thought we looked much better with him through the middle than we have in recent times. I thought we were silky smooth in the first half, and I thought that Jota and Diaz were ripping Wolves apart. And that, to me, is the front three. I don't mind if Gakpo comes in either, by the way, but I do think we've got to go with Jota through the centre against Villa. We look way more natural with him there than anybody else. That's just my opinion anyway. Do you think City will give the match against us, the folks on Real Madrid and Tottenham? Well, look, they play on the Wednesday, same as us, and then we go, and we don't know what Man City are going to be there. So Man City are either going to be dejected from getting knocked out of the Champions League, and then Pep will want a response from them to make sure they get back into it, or you'll see a Man City who turned over Real Madrid and are full of confidence. But we both have some travelling to do. Granted, theirs is a bit further. Ours is to Birmingham. Theirs is all the way to Madrid. And there's a big week ahead of us. And we're going to have to play a lot better than that over this next week. Rain, so they did check the offside against Spurs. And the problem with it is that they thought that the process was fine. That was it. It was a human error. It wasn't that they didn't check it. They absolutely did check it. But it was the communication then of the decision that was the problem. Aziz Al said midfield legs not there at the minute. Another 3 big games in short space of time. Need squad big time now. Jaden's Fun Life said we look tired. Squad depth crap. FSG are to blame for that. So look, you know, in the summer and in January, when I'm ranting about FSG and I'm screaming, where's the money, John? And I'm calling for transfers left, right and centre, and people tell me all the time I'm negative about it, that's why. And it's games like today, this part of the season, where all that other stuff catches up with you, and if you haven't got the ability to rotate enough, this happens. And that's why I'm so adamant that we can't keep just trying to get away with it. We can't keep just trying to have bare minimum bodies. Look at the bench today and let's have an honest assessment of it. Now, Gomez is injured. Jones is suspended. We can't really change that. But let's look at this bench today. Endo, we know that the manager doesn't really trust, but is a player that will come on to see it out. Darwin is going to be off in the summer. Hasn't been good enough. Chiesa, the manager clearly doesn't trust. You know, I don't think there's an argument about that. He doesn't trust them. You can come back at me about that if you want. Same with Harvey Elliott. You can see Arne Slot doesn't trust him there either. Costas, you know, he's a rotation option for Robbo. Then you've got Young, McConnell, Kelleher, Kwanzaa and Bradley. Kwanzaa and Bradley came on and did well. But that is not a scary bench. And 3 of those at least the manager doesn't fancy. So that's why I've always been absolutely adamant that anybody saying we couldn't improve was talking out their arse. We could have and should have improved in the last 2 markets. And I still think we win the league, but it could have been done easier. VI Joker said we have to beat Villa midweek because you don't know what you're going to get from Man City. 100% agree. I go into that City game in my mind thinking we may get a draw. We may win it, but a draw would be what I would consider a likely outcome. So to me, yes, you've got to go and beat Villa, and then you've got to go to Man City, whatever may happen, and back that up by beating Newcastle. And if you can take 7 points from these next 3 games, donezo, in my eyes. Because Arsenal aren't going to come through unscathed in their next 4 or 5. Going away to Forest is going to be difficult. You never know with them against United how those games go. We've already seen United beat them in the FA Cup. Then they've got Chelsea. So, you know, it's more footy to be played. But again, totally agree with that statement, mate. We do need to go and make sure that we take 3 points from Villa Park. Other words, Sunday becomes too much pressure. Gustavo said, I'm always disappointed that Luis Diaz doesn't get recognition after playing his natural position. Still don't understand anybody about his performance today. Well, then you must be deaf, Gustavo, with all due respect to you, mate. I've literally spent 10 minutes here talking about how great Diaz has been, how I don't know why he was taken off, how he transformed the attack with Diogo Jota. So I don't know where you're listening to, but if you've listened to us on here, he's gotten loads of praise today because he was brilliant. So, you know, I think you're just moaning for the sake of moaning because I don't know anybody who doesn't think he was great today or hasn't given him that credit. You were bang on with Marmouche. Kelvin, I'm always right, bro. Look, Marmouche is a player, no denying it. But we did make the move. He's a Man City player now. Diaz won us the game. Absolutely. Won the penalty, scored a goal. 100% agree. Diaz, to me, would be my man of the match today. Even though he didn't finish the game. He'd be my man of the match. The poll is still relatively close, by the way. If you want to have a vote in it, you still have a chance to change the destiny of the man of the match poll. So far, Dominic Szoboszlai's leading. Then it's Luis Diaz, Mo Salah, and Alisson Becker. So still chance for you to vote away on that one. Do you think Diaz is still second choice to Gakpo on the left wing? I don't know, mate. Because I think they're both really good out there. And I'm never disappointed whichever one the manager goes with. I think we're absolutely spoiled for choice there. And I'm happy whichever one plays as long as they're on the left. I don't really like either of them through the centre. Ray Nimrod said, I think Mo has a clause to always play when fit. Would explain why he's never subbed and might be sticking point of his new deal. I cannot for the life of me believe that we would agree to a contract that guarantees anybody playing time when he's fit. It would be the absolute height of stupidity and undermining of the manager. And look, I don't know, mate. You could be right, but I'd be very surprised if Liverpool agreed to that. It's just, I don't know. You have to protect him from himself at times and take him off because he needs resting as well. He's, as fit as the man is, everybody suffers from fatigue. And we've been rather fortunate with Mo this season because he hasn't been called up for Egypt on a couple of occasions, which has given him a rest. He had a full summer as well. So, to me there today, it would have been common sense to bring him off and put Chiesa on for the last 10 or 15. Just to give us an outball in legs down the right side as well. Ref handled it well, said no, it's just Chiesa's not ready tactically. Well, didn't need much tactic today, to be fair. Help out the right back and give an option of an outball down the right hand channel would have been the words in. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at the man of the match poll as we are about to hit 3,800 votes. And we will confirm, because it won't be caught now, Dominic Szoboszlai is your Anfield Agenda man of the match. Thank you to everyone that voted. Dominic Szoboszlai got 29% of the vote. Luis Diaz 26%. Mohamed Salah 22%. And Alisson Becker 21%. So ladies and gentlemen, last shout. If you'd like to contribute to the player ratings video, the link is still pinned to the top of the chat there now. I'm away to record the player ratings myself. We will see you tonight at 8:30 for either a video or a live stream. I think I'll do a stream, to be honest with you, because I think we've a lot still to talk about and I've loads of transfer stories I want to go through and run through with everybody. So if you're around at 8:30, we'd love to see you back. We'll have a catch up. Thank you again to our incredible sponsors, Manscaped. A reminder, you can get 20% off and free shipping store-wide at manscaped.com. Use our code Anfield20 at checkout. And the biggest thank you of the day, as always, goes to you guys for coming in, sharing the game with us. Appreciate you guys supporting me and the channel and Connor and everything that we do. We wouldn't be here without you. So drop a like for me before you head off. Let's try and get 1,000 likes on the match reaction. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. And fingers crossed on Wednesday. Not only we get to 3 points, but we also make sure that we get 300,000 subscribers up on Wednesday as well. So thank you again, folks. Really enjoyed it today. As nervy as it was. Much love.